Hi, Jacqueline Turner, CEO and founder of Encourage Fit, and today I want to share with you how fitness changed my life. You see, I was the girl growing up in high school who had what she called the thunder thighs. I am 5'1" on a good day, 5'2", maybe in some heels, depending on how high they are. And therefore, when I gain weight, it shows up pretty quickly and it's pretty evident to other people because of how I'm built. That's just the way it is. But during my high school years, I always felt self-conscious because the majority of my friends were a little bit taller than I was, and therefore, if they gained weight, it didn't show up as fast, it wasn't as noticeable, and a lot of my friends had those stick figure frames, and I just felt like I got dealt the bad end of the deal. Here I was short and had these thunder thighs, and so therefore that led to not being comfortable in my skin and not being happy with who I am and who God made me to be. And so I poured myself into one toxic relationship after another. I then began experimenting with drugs and alcohol, became addicted to these substances because I liked feeling numb from not having to deal with my feelings and not deal with my hurt and my issues that I was dealing with within myself. Then it wasn't until 2003 I experienced a miscarriage and lost a ton of weight. But I lost the weight because I was sunk into a deep depression and just quit eating. So it wasn't the healthy way of losing weight. And then it wasn't until a year later I decided and realized, hey, it's not just a food thing, it's not just a weight thing, it's a me thing. I'm missing something more in my life, and I need to find out what that is. So I rededicated my life to Christ. I began trying to make healthy decisions in my life, physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. But it wasn't until about 3 years ago that I connected with this company, Beachbody, and started working out. My first program was Lean Extreme, and I started working out consistently and following a specific plan. Not just tuning into Denise Austin on Lifetime at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I was following a specific plan, and I had a support system in my coach and in other people within the community that she had built. And once I began realizing this was such a positive change in my life, not just physically, but again, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, that I decided, hey, I want to do what my coach does. I want to see if I can do this whole coaching thing. And so I reached out to her, not a clue in the world, signed up with a $39.95 fee, not even a challenge pack, but signed up with that, and I began the process of trying to be a coach. But it wasn't until a month later, then I got on Shakeology after some mini wrestling and struggling with, oh my gosh, how can I justify spending this much on what I considered right then just to be another protein shake. I can go to Walmart and get something. But it is so much more than anything else out there. Hands down, you can't compare to Shakeology, and I experienced that within a week of drinking it, and I haven't stopped drinking it because I don't want to go back to the way that I felt before. I have more energy, my sweet tooth is down, I feel better, and I know that that's a quick, brainless, easy way to get in healthy foods within my body in no time. And so I didn't start working the business automatically, but once I started seeing that, hey, this is so much more than just bringing in an income to my family. It does do that, and that is a huge blessing to my family. I'm able to stay at home, be a stay-at-home wife and mom, be available to help my husband in ministry, be available to help my kids with whatever they need, but I'm also able to bring in an income to help provide groceries, gas, extra expenses, school supplies expense, those things, as well as I am able to do exactly what God has called me to do. And that's the greatest feeling in the whole entire world. Like that, hands down, I wouldn't trade that feeling for anything, because I know exactly that I am an encourager, and I'm called to encourage other women who struggled just like me to know their value, their worth, and their identity, to know that it's so much more than just a physical transformation. It's a spiritual, mental, and emotional transformation. And I get to participate in what the Lord is already doing in the world and in these women's lives. I get to come alongside of them, and I get to be the hands and feet of Christ to these women. And that is just an indescribable feeling right there. And so there's a little bit about my story. I hope that you have been inspired and encouraged, and if you ever feel that you have been called to a greater purpose, I hope that you will take the risk, take the leap of faith, go for it, because your story is someone else's inspiration.